Welcome to something to talk about. Really loud. Welcome to something to talk about.
Hello, welcome to something to talk about. My name is Taco, and I'm here Saturday morning. Got another Song of Ice and Fire Song of Ice and Fire character. Those are the two words I think I was combining. To talk about, right? So I do this every Saturday, and I do stuff throughout the week too. I don't know why I have my headphones on. And yeah, let's just go. So we're heading over the Essos. We're covering a character. I mean, if you saw the thumbnail, maybe you didn't because maybe this auto played, but then you probably clicked off. You're like, I don't know who this guy is. But yeah, Groleo. You guys remember Groleo? He's the captain of the Balerion, the not Black Dread, Balerion the ship, and he is Lord Admiral. Do you guys remember this dude? I really don't think I did the first time I went through the books. I don't think I remembered Groleo until like the second or third. I'm like, this guy's a character? And not much of one, but he's enough for me to cover. Right? He's actually got quite a lot of stuff. It's just fun to be able to talk about Marine and Dany stuff, right? So if you don't know what's going on here, pause this, read it, and this will tell you. And yeah. Let's talk about Captain Groleo. Groleo is captain of the cog Saduleon. Saduleon. It took me a minute. The Saduleon. Groleo is an aging Pentoshi man from Pentos. He is sent to Qarth with 3 ships by the cheesy Magister Illyrio Mopatis to return Daenerys and her followers to Pentos. With Groleo is Strong Belwas and his random unimportant squire. Yeah, I can't remember who Strong Belwas' squire is, but I don't think it's important, so I didn't even write it down. All right. All right. Illyrio sent for them because he wishes to have her dragons bring justice and stuff. Justice? You think dragons bring justice? To the 7 kingdoms. They bring fire and blood, yeah. Which are divided in a warring realm at the time, right? So Dany concedes that she must leave Qarth. She's like, yeah, we should probably leave Qarth. But commands them to change their names of the 3 ships so that it's Aegon's 3 dragons in Saduleon is renamed Balerion, as in Balerion the Black Dread, right? You guys got it. So, yeah. We normally talk about people's houses, but this guy doesn't have a house. He's from Pentos. So let's talk about Pentos. Pentos is one of the free cities in western Essos. It is a port city located on the eastern coast of the Bay of Pentos. Pentos is a large port city located the closest of all the free cities to King's Landing. In Westeros, the city, in Westeros, period. The city lies on the Bay of Pentos off the Narrow Sea with the flatlands on the Velvet Hills to the east. Even though Pentos has massive high halls, it is often regarded as the most vulnerable of the free cities. Well, there you go. The Pentoshi descend from Andals, Valerian's slaves, and ancient people. So yeah, like a bunch. Like the Bravosi and Laseni, Pentoshi are great lovers of song and generous with those who please them. Some of the men dye their hair and dye in oil and fork their beards. Yeah, like Dario Naharis with the forked beard. I love Pentoshis, dude. Like, I think it's a punk look. Like, I like the idea of like this, like gelled up, oiled, blue, spiky beard. Yeah, no, I'm down. I'm down. All right. So Balerion, the large cog. Everyone talks about that, right? What a large cog. What a large cog of Balerion. All right. Illyrio's 3 ships are sailing for Pentos, and Daenerys is watching her dragons fly over the ocean. Groleo tells Dany that he wishes his ship named Balerion would sail like the dragon she is named after, which is kind of cool. Dany thinks about how nervous Groleo was about sailing with dragons and how he had like 50 buckets of seawater ready just in case of fire. Yeah, because you can't have fire on a ship, right? Ask the Blackwater. He first wanted the dragons caged, and Dany agreed. But the dragons whined and come on. And she changed her mind despite a small fire. Oops. Groleo learned to like them. He likes them. Arston, the random squire, who is nobody, by the way. He's nobody. Arston isn't even a character. Tells her stories about Targaryens. And then later, Jorah tells her that Arston is more than he seems. No, he's not. All right, I've just told you. And he warns her not to trust him. The knight advises her to sail to Astapor to buy Unsullied, the best trained fighting force in the world. Dany agrees that she will force Groleo and Strong Belwas to change course. Yeah, he's like, do we want to show up with just dragons? What if Illyrio tries to like bamboozle us or pulls a rope-a-dope? Like, we should show up with an army. And she's like, yeah, you're probably right. And Arston's like, no, or whatever that random unimportant guy is. All right, Siege of Marine. Well, we skipped over some stuff. So they went and got all their Unsullied, right? They did all that already, and then they took out Yunkai and Astapor, and now they're headed to the Marine. After the fall of Astapor and the battle near Yunkai, causing the city to surrender, the freed slaves swell the ranks of Dany's freedmen. She proceeds to Marine, the last great slaver city. A Myronese champion named Oznak Zopal, you gotta love these names, emerges to challenge Dany's champion in single battle, and he is slain by Strong Belwas. Strong Belwas! Yep. Okay. During the Battle of Marine, Dany realizes she cannot take the city without siege engines, but there is no available wood because the Myronese have burned all nearby trees. Daenerys commands Groleo to drive his ships ashore, and her forces use the wood of the ships to create siege engines, turtles, and battering rams to take the city. The fighting is bitter and bloody for most of the day, and well into the night, Daenerys sends rams protected by great wooden turtles covered with horse hides to batter the city gates. Whilst her archers fire flights of flaming arrows over the walls, and her forces storm the walls. She takes it. She takes the city, man. Heck yeah, let's go. She does. Trust me. See? Told you. Lord Admiral! Marine is sacked savagely after its fall, and Groleo is named Admiral by Daenerys Targaryen. But without a fleet, it is an empty title. He has become a most unhappy man since the loss of his 3 ships. Yeah, he's a sailor. It's what he does. He likes being on boats. And they're like, hey, we're going to go do this. And he's like, gotta go back to Cheese Guy. Because that's where I miss my family. I want to go back to my family and the Cheese Guy. He's paying me. And they're like, nah, we're going to destroy your ships. What? Yeah, poor Groleo. Polio Groleo. Daenerys is hosting Zaro Zoandoxos, the Cathene merchant, after viewing a dance of his naked male and female slaves. Yay. They discuss Dany's situation since she left Karth. Zaro is well aware of the activities of the Sons of the Harpy and flagrantly tells Daenerys that he fears for her safety. Yeah, Zaro's kind of a jerk. He scoffs at her attempts to abolish slavery in Marine and tells her that the 13 are willing to trade with the city in slaves. He's like, we'll take some slaves. He offers her 13 galleys if she leaves for Westeros immediately. Dany tells him she will have her men inspect the ships and refuses to feign advances to her. He refuses his feigned advances. Yeah, because he's like trying to seduce, but we know that he's That's just Zaro. He doesn't care about her. Yeah, so she's like, all right, let me look at these 13 ships. So that's what we're doing. Council of Daenerys Targaryen. After assembling her council to hear the report of Admiral Groleo, the normally unhappy admiral was smiling. He's in a good mood now. He asks him if the ship Zaro gave her our sound, and he goes, sound enough, your grace. They are old ships, aye, but most are well maintained. He goes on to explain small issues with a couple of the ships, but for the most part, they will do fine. He explains that the crewmen are slaves, but if paid a decent wage, they will most likely stay. Those who do not, he can replace. He can replace, and he says that they will make it to Westeros. After the Myronese on the council argue against it, they're like, no, you can't leave. She decides she cannot abandon Marine to the Yunkai. Groleo and Barristan. Arstan came out of the white cloak closet at this point. Protest, but she refuses. When she summons Zaro to tell him that she refuses, he tells her that she will die screaming. Wow! And that he should have killed her in Karth. It's a little hardcore, Zaro. She has him thrown out of the palace, but the next day, an emissary gives her a bloody glove. The Kartheen have declared war. Yeah, that's what they do. They give bloody gloves. People are like, what's this? Oh, it means war. Why didn't you just say that? Jeez. All right. Under Siege. Wasn't that a really awesome movie? Not Steven Seagal, right? Daenerys begins every morning by counting the enemy ships in the harbor. I see a ship in the harbor. Today, she has counted roughly 25. They ships. The ships have stopped all trade in and out of the city. What? A blockade? Okay, moving on. She considers Groleo's advice all but useless. So Groleo's giving her advice, who advised her to send the dragons and attack the enemy fleet. He says, let the Yunkishmen have a taste of fire. Oh, sorry. This is him. Let the Yunkishmen. Aye, there we go. There's my character. Let the Yunkishmen have a taste of fire, and the trade will flow again, like the water out of my Pentoshi beard. Daenerys tells him to attack with ships, but he replies that she dismantled. Aye, you destroyed my ships, yo queen. And all the timber in 20 leagues had been burned, so he cannot build more. And then she goes, well, go to 21 leagues. He claims that he is a sailor, not a shipwright. He is bitter and wishes for home. His old wife, he misses his old. I miss my old wife. Dany wonders if he could be one of the 3 betrayers, but she quickly dismisses the idea. She sends him away and tells. She sends him away, and he tells her to pray. Oh no, sorry, I messed up this card so much. She sends him away and tells him to pray for storms to sink the fleet. And then he goes, no sailor prays for storms. It's true, they don't. She decides that in order to stop the siege, the war, and the killings in the city, all the, Sons of Harpy stuff, she will marry his daughter Lorak. The Lorak is what I call him. He speaks for the trees. The Lorak holds a feast in Marine with Yunkish lords and sellsword captains and attendants. To sign the peace and celebrate the reopening of the fighting pits, however, the sellswords and slaves from Yunkai and its allies are still besieging Marine, just as in Marine, the bloody flux has been affecting the Yunkish troops as well. Yeesh! So yeah, there's a disease and all this stuff, and yeah, it's a rough time. I'm not visiting Marine. That's all I know. Bloodbeard. Oh man, here we go. This is a big slide. As exchange of An exchange of 7 hostages have been arranged to ensure the measure of peace during the ceremonies. The 4 sellsword captains of the 3 Yunkish nobles present Yar, oh my god, Yorhazo Yunzak, Supreme Commander, and 2 others are understood to be Daenerys' hostages for the time being, while Dany offers 7 of her own to the Yunkish siege camp in exchange for in exchange. So it's Hizdar's sister, 2 of his cousins, her blood rider Drogo, and her unsullied captain Hero. And Dario Naharis is one of them, and Admiral Groleo. So Groleo's a hostage. During Dany's trip to the fighting pits, Drogon decides to show up and do dragon stuff. Dany thinks it's pretty cool, so she jumps on his back and joins him. But in the chaos, many are left bloody, burned, and killed, and trampled. I added that last one at the last second. After Dany disappears on Drogon, Barristan attends Hizdahr Lorax, or just the Lorak. He speaks for the trees. He goes to the Lorak's court. He speaks for the court. Under the unease that Dany Targaryen's absence brings. So yeah, the queen's gone. They're all uneasy. Three wise masters envoys from Yunkai arrive, along with their sellsword Bloodbeard, to talk to Hizdahr. They show Admiral Groleo's severed head as a gesture of intimidation, claiming his death as payback for the death of Yunkazo Yanzak, who was trampled to death during the chaos in the fighting pits. So he did. Wow. Barristan is enraged and wishes to kill Bloodbeard. The blazing beasts who are in the room when the head is presented are eager to cut down the Yunkish nobles in retaliation, but are puzzled when the order is not given by Hizdahr. Hizdahr is like, no, I'm not going to tell you guys to kill these guys. Barristan has Hizdahr request Groleo's body be returned, but he can be decently buried. Barristan remembers Groleo had a wife and children and grandchildren, and all the man wanted to do was return to his home in Pentos. Yeah, that's sad. That's it. I got one more slide. That's it. He dies, and he just wanted to go and get Dany and come back. And then he gets convinced to go and get some Unsullied, and then his ship gets destroyed, and then he's made of an admiral of no fleet at all, and then he gets his head cut off. That stinks, man. That stinks. So no real theories. Yeah, not much here in terms of theories or symbolism. I found a couple. I found a little bit. I do see a ton of similarities, so not quite symbolism, between Groleo and Davish Seaworth, a good sailor that rises above his station, and all he wants to do is just go back to his wife and kids. Except it goes much worse for Groleo. It doesn't go great for Davos, because Davos is only fake executed, right? But Groleo tries to embrace the dragons, right? So yeah, he gets real executed, right? So Groleo tries to embrace the dragons, right? He's just a sailor, and at first he wants them in cages, and then he likes having them fly around, and then he even tries to get Dany to use them on the enemy fleet. He starts to be a dragon guy, right? Yeah, I like the dragons. Let's use them. And in the end, he gets decapitated because Drogon causes a panic, and some Yunkish commander gets trampled, so he loses his head for it. It's slightly ironic that the act of a dragon causes his death after he's finally starting liking. And that's all I got, as the guy starts to embrace dragons, and because of the dragon's actions, he gets killed. I'm not blaming Drogon for his death, and then also his weird Devil Seaworth connections. So there you guys go. There's Groleo. You guys remember Groleo? What do you think of Groleo? Is he a cool character? That's all I got. Do all that YouTube stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you a million times for the support you guys give and all that stuff. And keep help me justify spending time on this hobby. And you guys are the best, man. Thank you and peace.